to Manny Reads Comics. Today I'm talking The Flash 773. It's getting better. It's doing good. It's a slow start. I didn't mean to do that joke, but I'm going to do it anyways. It's a slow start to The Flash. And yeah, so talking about this cover real quick. Peterson's actually doing a better job in my opinion, in his covers. This looks a lot better than what he's been doing. Not the greatest, but it'll do. And I am here prepared for this review. I got my Central City Running Club shirt on. Anyways, back to the Flash. Um, it's not a bad issue. I think I gave this issue an 8 out of 10. But let's go into the recap and find out why. It looks like Wally is escaping from the building that was on fire from the last issue. But last issue we saw Heat Wave knock him down. And I don't know if he got knocked out or anything, but I assumed he got knocked down because that just ended like that, right? But he got knocked down, and then he just ran outside. It was weird. It's a weird transition because I don't know. I just don't feel like he would just get hit and then run away, and that's it. But that's what happened, and somehow Rory got away. McRory got away. But the firefighter does tell him what the building was. It's the hospital for cancer, and not only that, it was like one of the best hospitals in the state or in the city. I want to say the state, but either way. So we find out why Rick Rory, Mick Rory. We find out why he burned down that building, right? Because he has cancer, and now he pretty much feels like nothing really matters. Like life is just whatever, right? Um, but he gets away, and then while he's talking to the firefighter, he realizes he's late for work and rushes back off. While he's rushing back to work, he says, "Man, I hope Mr. Terrific was not kidding about my open availability or whatever like that." And I'm just thinking, he told you how to escape and like do the like the secret route or anything like that. Like he told you, he knows what you're going to be doing. He knows who you are. Why would he be worried about your like timestamp? I get that it's a joke and stuff, but it just, for me, it didn't land. Not a good joke. And usually Wally West is a great. He is my introduction to Flash. Whenever I started liking the Flash, so Wally West can almost do no wrong, but I guess me growing up a bit has jaded my eyes because that was a bad joke, and that's of course that's the writer and stuff, but that was a bad joke. Anyways, Wally walks up to his new coworkers. He changes his clothes, um, and they are pondering a question like they're heating something up with energy. I don't do the science talk, but one scientist says it's too much energy, it's heating up, and the other scientist is saying no, we just have the wrong metal. And then Wally comes in, and apparently they've been debating this over and over for hours. Wally walks in, says, "Oh, it's definitely the metal," and he explains why. And they are kind of surprised. They think that he's just an engineer. He doesn't really know science or anything like that. But he's showing that he deserves to be there, right? So, but he is a new guy, so they're like, all right, well then you can order it, order the correct material, and then we're gonna go to lunch, and you can what, if it comes up, you can install it as well. And so he's fine, except here's another joke that's not landing with me. Is they tell him to order it right off the computer, and he's like, I don't really do computers. And to me, that's not a funny, like it makes no sense. He's so intelligent. He comes in here and like pretty much solves this equation um, within seconds, and it's not because he's a Flash, but because he's smart. And the fact that he can't handle a computer, that makes zero sense. I can handle a computer. I'm not a genius. Most people can. Kids today are being born are basically using these iPods, iPads, and all that stuff as children, like 6, 7 years old. And for him to say like, "Oh, I don't know computers," it makes no sense. But luckily, it is a very intuitive computer. He is able to order these parts, and then he has to do what all Flashes hate, and is to just wait around. So as he's waiting, he gets some kind of notification that there's a fire, and he's excited. He's like, yes. And then he realizes, oh no, I'm not happy. There's a fire, but I gotta go. And so he goes. Um, Meanwhile, if you remember from the last couple of issues, and if you haven't read them, I can give you a recap with one of my old videos. Just go check them out. Anyways, in the other issues, we have a sword that's flying through space, and it's searching for someone or something that's unworthy of it, the most unworthy of it. That's all we know about the sword. At least that's all I know about the sword. I don't know if it's appeared in any other comics or any other like main titles. And the reason I think it might is because Jessica Cruz appears, and now she's wearing the Sinestro Corps suit. She's got a yellow lantern, and I have no idea how that happened, why that happened, but she's got that yellow lantern, and she sees the sword coming up. She makes like a little barrier, and she's 100% confident that this thing is going to stop here, and the thing shatters straight through it. And she says that should be impossible. And the whole time thinking, I'm like, how many times has your creation, whatever willpower stuff, been broken? Like they break all the time. It's not impossible to break. I don't know why she said it was impossible, but she fails to stop it, and that's all we get. Again, like in the last issue, we only got one scene of this sword. The issue before that, one scene. So this is a mystery. I assume Heatwave was going to get the sword, but uh, at the end of this one, I don't think that's going to happen. It's gonna be somebody. It's gonna be one of the from the Rogue gallery, maybe Captain Cold. Who knows? But it's gonna be a Flash villain, right? But that's all we see. We get back to that fire that got started, and it's Heatwave. He's at the pier. He's just starting random fires, and while he's there, he runs into to Flash, and he says like he starts explaining like nothing matters. It's whatever. I'm back to doing what I do best, and he begins his attack, and that almost hit a kid. Luckily, Flash was there, saved the kid and everything. But he goes back to Heatwave, and he says like, "Hey, you almost hit this kid. Like, what are you doing? You were reformed." And that's another thing. I don't understand when he was reformed. I don't remember when he did that, but apparently Wally knows this, and he's like, "Hey, you were reformed. What's going on with you? Why are you doing this?" And this is one of the best moments I think in this book for sure. I think this is exactly why I gave it an 8 out of 10, is because he's talking to him. He's not just like, all right, well, I'm going to use my speed to stop him. 1, 2, 3 with 3 punches, done. Put him in jail, and that's it. He wants to know why, because one, he knows that he reformed. So why would he go back into this into his old ways? So he wants to find out. But before he can talk to him, he does create like a little water spout and dumps all that water on Heatwave. So that was awesome. That just to display his power. And he's explaining why he started back up and how like the fire, like baptism by fire, like this, he is allowing people to see how precious life is because it can be taken away in an instant. And it's a little jaded outlook. But with this talk, and then remembering that he started burning the building. And he also mentioned something about how his suit, the asbestos in his suit, he thought it was protecting him from the fire, but it seemed to be slowly killing him. Flash put two and two together. Another reason why it makes no sense that he doesn't know how to use computers, because he put these two things together real quick, and he realizes that he's got cancer. So he starts to talk to him and lets him know like, hey, we can do something about this. He calls somebody to help him out, one of the best people in cancer treatment, and but basically convinces Rory to stop his attack and turn himself in and have a little hope, basically. And that's great to me. Like that to me, while I was reading that, I thought that was amazing, because you can stop a villain any day, just especially as the Flash, 1, 2, 3 punches and that's it. But he actually does care enough to find out why, get to the root of the problem, and stop it at the root. Like now we know that most likely, hopefully, Rory's not going to go back into another attack. He wants to genuinely do better and get better. So definitely one of the best scenes here in the Flash in a long time. At the end of this, when Rory gets put away, the cop's like, why'd you do that? Like, why'd you talk to him? And we get a really great line from Wally, which is, it's not enough to just save people, but you also have to inspire people. And while it's a great moment, he is a jokester, so he's got to like cut that uh, emotional moment away, and he says like, "Oh, I gotta go. Like, I'm late for work or something," like because the cop said, um, "Oh man, forget that. Like I just barely have enough time to get to work. Clock in." And that's when he realizes he might be late, so he goes back to work. He gets the materials, and then he puts everything back to where it needed to be. So it's a great moment for Wally as well because he's able to impress his new peers, and he's no longer just like the meathead engineer. I think that's how they were seeing him, and some of them are still seeing him like that. Um, and then I don't know why this was made into a big deal, but like when he's leaving, he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go pick up dinner." And one of the scientists is like, "Hey, well, what are you getting?" And he goes, he like gets this smug look, and he's like, "I'm gonna get some barbecue." I don't, I don't understand what that reference is. If one of you guys know why that's like such a like zoomed in, focused panel, please let me know. But he gets barbecue for his kids and stuff. But yeah, let me know in the comments why that's a big deal. I just thought it was really weird. But that's it. That's like basically the end of the issue. Good first villain back. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It's a good first defeat of a villain in since he's become Wally, except for he beat Savitar, but that doesn't really count. So he's happy. He can pay his bills now. Kids got food on the table, shelter, all that stuff. Linda's happy. Um, but then we see Mick, Rory, and he is at Belle Reef. And at this point, I knew what's her name was going to show up. And it made zero sense. It makes zero sense to me as to why all these heroes know what Amanda Waller does. We know that she has a Suicide Squad. She has that Task Force X. Why aren't any of the heroes stopping this? Because I was really genuinely happy for Rory. Like he got stopped, but he wasn't just labeled as a villain, and he's gonna get help. And I was genuinely happy for him. And now that gets taken away. Yeah, maybe Amanda Waller has something to stop cancer cells from whatever, so she can continue to um, use Rory in her Suicide Squad, but that's some BS. I wanted more for him. I actually felt something for Rory, and now he's going to be joining the Suicide Squad to do who knows what, but to be a villain, and he doesn't want to be that. He wants to be reformed. So that sucks for me. That was a negative, and it just got me questioning like why the heroes aren't doing anything about Task Force X at all. So all in all, that's the end of the book. It's an 8 out of 10 for me because it's a great Wally moment. It's just one of the things that I really love about Wally in general. He cares about his villains, not just about stopping them, but stopping them completely at the root of the cause. And this is a great example. I was happy that Wally got a job. I'm not happy about the fact that he's like, oh, I don't know how to use computers, but it is what it is. I'm still intrigued by this mystery of the sword, and then, but that I don't know anything much else about it. And then, last but not least, my only negative, really, really huge negative point is the Suicide Squad thing. I think it's messed up that the writer got us to be happy about Rory and then brought us down. Sometimes it's good when writers bring us down, obviously, but in this case, I didn't like it. Simple as that. But other than that, great book, 8 out of 10. And yeah, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Share this with your friends. And yeah, any comments are more than welcome. Thank you for everything. See you guys later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.